Hey guys, welcome back to Snap Ring Chronicles. Today I got another Ratchet teardown video. But before we start, if you can you please give me a like, share, and subscribe if you find any of these videos helpful or informative. I would appreciate it. Alright, thanks. Okay, today I went to a supermarket. It's called Lidl. It's a German supermarket, but they don't only have food. They have a section where they have like clothes and housewares and stuff like that. And they also have a tool section. And they got some power tools, some power drills, stuff like that. And they also have some hand tools. So I saw this extendable ratchet. The house brand is called Parkside. And here's the ratchet. Just open it up here. Okay, it's the Parkside Extendable Ratchet, 1/2-inch drive. It's 18 inches and it extends to 23.5 inches. Here, 72 teeth, chrome vanadium, and made in China. I don't see anything about a warranty, but from what I understand, I think Parkside has like a 3-year warranty on some of their tools. Okay, this is what the ratchet looks like. Has a collet that you push down to extend it. And like it says, it's 18 inches from the head to the bottom. And you extend it, pulling on the collet. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions. There's also quick release. That's what it sounds like. If this looks familiar, you're probably familiar with the extendable ratchet from Harbor Freight, the Pittsburgh Pro. These ratchets are very similar. The mechanisms are almost identical in these. I'm gonna compare them in a second. Let's open this up. To open this up, you're gonna need a T10 Torx. On the Harbor Freight, it was a T15 for the plate screws. That's what the screws look like. They put a little blue Loctite on them. And it has the one screw in the bottom for holding the switch. That's also a T10. On the Harbor Freight, it was a T8. that screw looks like. Has a little blue Loctite on it also. Okay. And you just push up on the back a little bit, and you get the plate to pop off. This is what the plate looks like. It's the same thickness as the Harbor Freight plate. Okay. This is what the mechanism looks like. Let me take off the plate on the Harbor Freight. We have these side by side. Yep, almost identical. Here are the gears. The Harbor Freight seems to have like a bigger pin for the quick release in the front. That's what the ball detents. The ball for the Parkside looks a little bit bigger, or maybe just the hole is a little bit bigger, but it does look like the ball is a little bit bigger. They both had this metal ring around the anvil side. Okay, you remove the spring here. Trying to remove the pawl. This is what the pawl looks like. On the Harbor Freight, you see it has an L and an R on the pawls. The Parkside has a Y and a G. I don't know, maybe that's German, because it is like a German company. This pawl looks identical to the Harbor Freight pawl. The only thing is that this pawl has a little lip there for the spring. So the spring will catch on that lip and won't go over it, which is pretty cool. That's one thing I'm always afraid about these mechanisms, is that sliding back and forth, that spring can just pop up over the pawl. These are the springs. They seem a little longer too than the Harbor Freight ones. Just cone springs. Here's the other paw. And spring. That paw has a G. And the spring for that paw. And the switch. The switch goes in there. And you just pop it out. The switch looks almost identical to the Harbor Freight switch. It's all metal. The Harbor Freight also has like this highly polished chrome, and the Parkside has more of a matte finish. And as you can see, side by side, the Parkside is a lot longer than the Harbor Freight. I think extended, the Harbor Freight is the same size as the Parkside unextended. Let's see. Yep. So extended, the Harbor Freight and the Parkside are the same size, but if you extend the Parkside, you can see how much longer it is than the Harbor Freight. I'm not gonna take the handle apart because I have a video, the Harbor Freight video, their extendable one. I took the handle for this apart already, so if you want to see how the handle comes apart, just check out my video for the Harbor Freight extended handle. The only difference in this handle and the Harbor Freight is that there's a ball bearing at the end under tension, and it's smaller than the Harbor Freight. So you have to be careful when if you're gonna take this apart, because that smaller ball bearing will go through the hole. You know what? I'll take it partially apart. There's the ball bearing that holds the place. Down the shaft more, there's another ball bearing. That one's smaller than the Harbor Freight. The Harbor Freight won't go through this hole if you were to pull it out. It would only come out if it comes out the lip here. This one, the ball bearing is smaller than the Harbor Freight, so it's over here. So if you pull it out down this line, it's over here, it's gonna hit this hole and shoot out. So if you're gonna take this all apart, cover that hole before you pull it all the way out, and cover the lip also to keep that ball bearing from shooting out. And okay, to put this back together, you take your switch, you put it back in the hole. You take your paw, you take your Y paw and put it on the right side. You take your spring with the wide part of the spring against the wall, and Let's try it again. Alright. So it's gonna look like that. And you take your other paw. And you switch the switch to the other side to where this is compressed. That paw is compressed there. That way you can get this. You can get this paw in there. And there'll be some room for you to get that spring in there. Okay, like that. Now you take your gear, you drop it in. Oh well, the switch came out. So yeah, you're gonna need a little patience to do this. Okay. Put the pole in again. You get your spring. Put it in there again like that. Hold the switch so it won't fall out again. Take your gear. Drop it in. Take your plate. Make sure the hole for the switch screw, it isn't flat like that. It has a little indent so the screw can fit in. The head of the screw can fit in there. Drop your switch screw in the hole, and you take your T10 and you screw it down. You take your plate screws, you drop those in, and you screw them down. If you want, you can put a little more Loctite on it to make sure it's secure. Okay. Don't over torque this, because you're gonna strip out these little holes or screws, and then you're gonna be in trouble. So a little bit tight, just finger tight. Make sure it switches. Yep. Switching. Okay, that's the teardown of the Parkside Extendable Ratchet from Lidl. Alright guys, take care.